Your city, your news. From the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha, this is the Omaha News. Brought to you by the students in the College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
The Senate will vote on a revised but still $700 billion bailout plan tonight. We'll have more details in a moment.
Flu season is fast approaching. We'll show you an extra way to avoid those flu germs and where to get a flu shot. Good afternoon, I'm Morgan Matthews.
And I'm Jared Benson. It failed to pass the House 3 days ago, but the Senate will vote tonight on the bailout plan with several added provisions. One of those provisions raises the amount that the bank deposits are insured for from $100,000 to $250,000. The Senate has attached the rescue plan to a bill that deals with renewable energy tax incentives that was already voted on by the House, and a fix to the alternative minimum tax that would have increased dramatically for middle-class taxpayers next year. Both presidential candidates John McCain, Barack Obama, and Obama's running mate Joe Biden have said they will be in D.C. for the vote.
The vote is scheduled to take place later after sundown. This is an observance of the Jewish holiday Rosh Hashanah. There was a sense of hurry up and wait on Wall Street as investors wait to see what happens with the bailout package. The market is trading with a modest-sized loss. The Dow Jones is down more than 11 points. S&P is down 5.5, and the NASDAQ is down almost 22 points. Stocks made a deep drop on Monday, rebounded a little on Tuesday, and have continued to fluctuate today. Voter registration drives in Nebraska have until October 17th to get new voters. After that, potential voters must go to their county election office. Sarah Whaley continues our Vote 2008 coverage and shows us how UNO students are being helped to make their opinions count.
How are we registered?
Oh, okay. Hearing a no isn't always a bad thing for Becky Schnabel. She's with the Chancellor's Commission of the Status of Women. They're registering those on UNO's campus to vote in the upcoming election. And a no typically means a yes for having already registered to vote.
Most people that come by are already registered, so that makes us happy.
Obviously, I hope they're telling me the truth that yes, they are registered. Sometimes they just stop by with questions, like how do I get a ballot by mail?
With politics on everyone's mind, registering to vote is the first step towards making a difference.
I just wanted to have my opinion count. Kind of feel like we're kind of in hard times right now, so anything helps. I just think that everybody should have an opinion that counts. I don't understand why you wouldn't,
It's meant to be as unbiased and neutral as possible. Two members of separate party affiliations register voters, allowing your opinion to count without feeling pressured.
I just hope it generates more popularity to vote. People see others voting and hopefully they'll want to vote too.
The main goal is just that people get registered and vote. No matter who they're voting for, it's just the fact that they exercise their right to do so.
Registering was really simple, I'll tell you that.
For the Omaha News, I'm Sarah Whaley.
Most people register when they apply for or renew their driver's license. If you don't think you did, there are several ways to register. Go to the Nebraska Secretary of State's website and click on the Elections tab for more information.
The Humane Society has its work cut out for it. The dog ordinance has been on the City Council agenda for weeks, passed 6-1. Aaron Cox continues our coverage.
I have so much more I want to say and I don't have time.
The motion's running high.
And it's so heartless to me.
The Nebraska Humane Society is now planning how they will enforce the pit bull ordinance.
We've had numerous meetings about how enforcement will work.
The City of Omaha will help with funding.
We're going to need more administrators, we're going to need more dispatchers, we're going to need more animal control officers. And so we feel, though, that we will be able to deal with a lot of the issues that come down the pike.
They're putting a lot of muscle behind it.
You need to take responsibility for your pet, and if you don't, we're not going to let you have a pet for a little while. You're going to have to think about it. It's going to be 4 years for you to not have a pet before you can get one again.
Pet owners are going to be allowed 2 strikes in a 24-month period. And on the 3rd strike, pets could be taken away from them. Now, the Humane Society says that licensing your pet is the first step to take, and if you don't do so, that could be a strike against you. For the Omaha News, I'm Erin Cox.
The city ordinance kicks in 2 weeks, but the muzzle requirement for pit bulls begins January 1st, 2009. Pit bulls and their owners can test out the muzzle requirement through the Humane Society. It's not too early to start thinking about the flu season. Get your annual flu shot protects you from catching the season's virus, which changes every year. The Visiting Nurses Association kicks off their Boo to the Flu campaign this week.
From 9 a.m. to noon this Saturday, they'll be offering flu shots to anyone 6 months or older at the Common Ground just north of Elkhorn High School. Go to vnaomaha.org to find more dates for flu shot clinics. Grocery stores have also joined the fight against germs. Studies have shown shopping carts are one of the dirtiest objects you can come across. Jessica Bernal shows us how Omaha grocery stores are taking those germ-fighting steps.
Shopping carts were once used to carry food and sometimes children, but current research has found it also carries bacteria.
Use them to get rid of the germs that are on this cart. When you have 3 kids, and considering most of the people that come in the store have kids or deal with kids, there's most likely some bacteria of some sort on there. So,
local grocery stores such as Hy-Vee, Target, and Baker's are now offering its customers sanitizer wipes for the shopping cart handles. Customers seem to appreciate the availability of sanitizer wipes.
I was happy to see it. I think it's a good idea to help minimize contamination and spread illness.
Grocery workers also notice.
They like them very well, and when they run out of something, they get upset and they start asking.
But if shopping carts are so dirty, it makes you wonder exactly how often do stores wash them?
We'll wash them off every once in a while.
One cart is done 3 times a year, and all the baby carts are scrubbed generally by me. I scrub them at least 3 times a year.
Many states have purchased Pure Cart Systems, a cart cleaning machine to clean their shopping carts. Currently, there are no plans of installing any in Nebraska. For now, local grocery stores say they will continue providing its customers with sanitizer wipes. For the Omaha News, I'm Jessica Bernal.
Also remember to wash your hands regularly. This will further help you prevent illness. Later on the Omaha News, the UNO football team looks ahead to Truman State Saturday after a shutout loss against Northwest Missouri State. We'll show you how they got their kicks.
Coming up next, in this competition, everyone's a winner. Stay tuned. You're watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on the Knowledge Network.
If your days get out of control, reset your attitude by setting your radio to KVNO, Classical 90.7. Discover your own personal oasis of serenity on KVNO, Classical 90.7. Drugs, crime, prostitution, hunger. Visit yesomaha.org and donate to Youth Emergency Services. Help take homeless kids off the streets before something else does.
When it comes to competition, there's usually a winner and a loser. Adam Rosen has the story of how a good cause can make winners of everybody.
Some people enjoy the fun of competition.
We play a summer league every year. Our team always is the losing team, but we come out and have a good time, and that's what it's all about.
And at the Volley for a Cure volleyball tournament this past weekend, that competitive fun was for a good cause.
Just proud of everybody for getting together.
18 teams and dozens of spectators helped raise money for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer for the Cure 3-day walk, which is held later this year.
They're donating to the cause by being on a team. So they get to spend a day playing volleyball in a beautiful weather with their friends, having a good time, and for that they are helping breast cancer. Half of our team is in San Diego and half of our team is here in Omaha. So they've been doing some out there, we've been doing some here. We're learning as we go, but this year we did 2 large fundraisers. Next year when we do the walk, we will do 3 or 4.
Everything was orchestrated pretty well. All the teams are pretty much champions. They all played their hearts out.
By the end of the day, the event had raised about $3,500, proving that when it comes to competing for a good cause, there are no losers, only winners. For the Omaha News, I'm Adam Rosen.
The Breast Cancer 3-Day is a 60-mile walk over the course of 3 days that takes place in several cities across the country. Walkers must raise $2,200 that will benefit the Susan G. Komen for the Cure and the National Philanthropic Trust Breast Cancer Fund.
Another money-raising event here in Omaha had dogs and their owners doing the walking. The Humane Society held their annual dog walk on Sunday to raise money for homeless animals.
Even though the annual dog walk at the Nebraska Humane Society is over, the money that was raised will continue to help homeless animals across Omaha.
It's called the Walk for the Animals, and it's our biggest annual fundraiser. And it's like any other walk. People walk, they get pledges, they walk, and they donate the money.
Even if owners did not know just how important this cause was, it still allowed them to bring out their dogs for a good time.
This is Mac. He's the mellow one.
This is geared toward helping the animals, homeless animals at the Nebraska Humane Society. So what better thing to do than have a walk and be able to take your dog on a walk? I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand.
Many dogs are in need in the Omaha area. The Nebraska Humane Society always wants to surpass the year before in the money that they raise.
People can always donate to us. We have online donations that people can do. We have gifts in memory, so if somebody's pet dies, you can donate funding. We also have folks that will donate towels and treats and pet supplies and those types of things.
This walk was just one of many ways that people can help contribute to helping homeless animals. For the Omaha News, I'm Morgan Matthews.
The Nebraska Humane Society is a nonprofit organization and relies heavily on private donations for its fundings, though it does receive some money from the city for animal control services it provides. It's not a new building on UNO's campus, but it's got a new look and name, and it's part of the Centennial Celebration next week. We have the Assistant Dean to tell us more, coming up next.
And later, how well is your fantasy football team doing? We'll take a look at some owners and how they're coping. You're watching the Omaha News.
Take a look at UNO and you'll find a school that can pretty much be everything to everyone. We have that big city feel and a sense of community that creates a close, friendly campus. Our professors and resources contribute to our great reputation in the city and the region. So whether you're just starting out, transferring, earning a degree online, or choosing a new path in life, you'll be able to find what you want.
Hello, Mav fans. I'm Tori Pantalian. Join me each month to catch all the news on all the sports at UNO. Watch Maverick Sports right here on the Knowledge Network.
UNO is celebrating its centennial next week. Part of the celebration includes the dedication of the newly remodeled CPAX building, formerly called Engineering. Here to tell us about some of what's changed is Sarah Woods, Assistant Dean of the College of Public Administration and Community Service. Thanks for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Great. This is an exciting year for the college. It's actually, for a lot of people they don't know, it's the first year all of the colleges and CPACs have been under the same roof.
That's right.
So it's probably has really helped with unity with just faculty and students and things like that.
That's right. Now, we've been around for 35 years, but we've never had the same space. In fact, we've been scattered not just across campus, but actually across the entire community. So this is our first opportunity to all be together. Now we have faculty and students actually seeing one another in the classroom, in the hallways, in the offices, and it's just completely changed, I think, the way we operate for the better. We're thrilled.
Great. And I've seen the building. It's stunning. It seems like the layout of it and everything is just so different from some of the other buildings that are around campus that are obviously older. So what are some of the major changes?
Well, first of all, if you had ever seen the inside of the engineering building, it was really designed as almost a 1950s high school type facility. It was very standard. The construction, I think, was meant to last forever. Lots of cinder block walls and very wide hallways and lockers. But now what we're doing is we have tried to take the building and have it represent the college's culture. So we're thinking about things like transparency and collaboration and communication, and how can we physically represent those things in the design of the building. So when you walk in, you see lots of glass. You see lots of open spaces. We let every unit, every academic unit, decide how it wanted to design its own space to best meet the needs of its faculty and students. So you'd see in criminal justice lots of room for research space. In public administration, it's set up for lots of collaboration between faculty and students and staff. Again, we just really tried to convey in a very physical way the values that our college has always had.
Yeah, and it looks great, and I'm sure the students and faculty are loving it. I know last time I had interviewed you, you were in a much smaller, condensed space.
That's right.
What do you like best about the new building? What are your favorite parts?
Well, I love the fact that we can stay in the building for our classes. We don't have to go to 5 or 6 different buildings now for our classes. I love being able to see students in our hallways. We never had hallways. We had offices and houses and in smaller units within big buildings. So we never actually had an opportunity to see students walking through class or checking their mail or interacting with faculty just before or after class. We just didn't have those opportunities. So I would say that's probably my favorite, but there's very little about the building I don't like.
Great. And do you feel, in terms of parking, which is always an issue at the university, along with many other universities, since everyone is kind of just in one area now, has anyone complained about not finding parking around the building, or do they not mind the walk, or have you heard anything?
You know, we've been so scattered for so many years, and parking, we almost always had to park farther away from our classes than maybe other faculty at campus. So now we're actually a little bit closer. I think the big surprise was when we as a unit all moved into the building on the center of campus. It really, I think, changed parking dynamics for lots of people who are used to parking close to a building, and now all of a sudden our faculty are there. So I think that's made a bit of a challenge, but hasn't it really, at least from what I hear, people are real happy with the getting to campus, being able to park closer to the building. If anything, a lot of us are saying we kind of missed the walk. We used to have to walk to the Epley building from the far west side of campus, and now we're so close we can literally leave for a meeting just a few minutes before.
Perfect. And I'm not sure, how long ago did construction on this start?
We started in April of 2007. And it just flew by. I'm still surprised that we're in the building now in 2008. But again, it wasn't a complete construction, it was a renovation, and the bones of the building were very good. We worked with a terrific architect, HDR, and our construction manager, Boyd Jones, was just a great organization to work with. We got to know all of their staff and really well. They were always listening to us. Their architect, Steve Sjogren, was just worked so hard to help really embody, work to help us have our building really embody our values and culture, and that's very clear.
Mm-hmm. Was this something that you felt should have been taken on a long time ago, or do you think was it a long time awaited?
Well, it was a long time awaited, but I think the timing, I think in the long run we benefited from, I think, what we ended up with. So I guess it was worth the wait. We always understand that university budgets ebb and flow. State, it always depends on what the state has available in terms of revenues. Again, the timing wasn't right until now, but we ended up with such a terrific facility. I think everyone would agree it was worth waiting for.
And I completely agree with you. Well, there's a couple events. I know the CPAC's building dedication on the 8th.
Yes.
And then also the open house on the 10th. So
right.
It's a couple things to look forward to.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining
Morgan.
us. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Feel free to join UNO faculty and students on October 8th as they celebrate the 100 years, and watch the Omaha News for special coverage of the day's events. Stay tuned, we'll have more after the break.
UNO Television. Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV Crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV Crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Breathtaking, electrifying, inspiring. Award-winning documentaries produced by UNO Television offer you a window on the history of Omaha and the world. Beginning with the acclaimed 2-hour documentary on the history of Omaha, If These Walls Could Speak, UNO Television has developed a reputation for producing high-quality programs that explore, educate, and enlighten. These outstanding productions can be part of your home video collection. For information about purchasing VHS or DVD copies, call 554-2516 or visit our website at unotv.unomaha.edu.
Congenital heart defects are the most common birth defect and the #1 cause of death from birth defects occurring during the first year of life. Help save little hearts. Support the Midwest Heart Connection. Go to MidwestHeartConnection.com. Little hearts, big miracles.
Offense and defense gets all the credit, but there's another aspect of football teams that makes contributions that rarely get noticed. Mike Wilson reports on how special teams truly are special.
Several players on the Maverick football squad have to make it a concentrated effort to focus on their footwork. For others, it's not so much a problem. Jason Schloutman and Greg Zerline comprise the kicking tandem of the UNO football team. Though special teams play often goes unheralded, their abilities to boot the ball put their team in a position to win.
Other players, you get 40, 50 snaps, so if you mess up on a couple, it's no big deal, but I'm only in there maybe 5 times most, so I got to take advantage of when I'm in.
There's not a lot of physical ability that you can't do, but you have to be really focused when you go out on the field and then block out everything to make your kick.
Schloutman assumed the punting duties this season after Jonathan Damkroger left the squad. While he likes getting into games, it's not something he wants to make routine.
When I don't get in a game, coaches are happy. I like to get in a couple times maybe, but if I don't get in, that probably means we won. Our offense is doing really good.
Zerline is a different story.
I like kicking extra points, and if we're kicking extra points, we're winning games, and that's all that really matters.
It may be often overlooked by fans, but a good special teams is vital to any football team's success. For the Omaha News, I'm Mike Wilson.
Schloutman, Zierlein, and the rest of the Mavericks will try to rebound from a 42-0 loss to Northwest Missouri State. They take on Truman State this Saturday in Kirksville, Missouri.
From real football to fantasy football, having drafts, setting lineups, and monitoring injury reports. These are all things that fantasy owners subject themselves to. Here's a look at how some are coping with the ups and downs of fantasy football.
For a growing number of people, just watching a football game doesn't cut it. They're after something more.
Maybe I should have played him instead of Barber or Berrien.
They're after something that drives them to flock down to local sports bars and watch every game possible, perhaps through a new perspective.
I would say that fantasy football has immensely changed the way that I watch football. It changes when I watch football, it changes how I watch. It's changed everything about football for me. I mean, still I have my favorite team, you know, but seeing them lose isn't so tough for me anymore if I have a wide receiver that scored 2 touchdowns against them.
On the flip side, fantasy football is not without flaws. Like many things, it can be addictive. It can drive you to the brink of insanity or euphoria.
Heartbreak. I mean, I'm like the Dolphins. 0-4? I can't beat anybody. And even the weeks that I have points that I could beat every other team in my league, I can beat everyone else flat out. I play that one guy. I just want to beat my head into a wall sometimes.
From its humble and somewhat primitive origins in the 1960s, fantasy football has grown immensely into millions of players, and more play every season.
Next weekend, if you happen to stop by one of your local sports bars or wing shops, like the Buffalo Wild Wings behind me, take note of all the people seemingly rooting for individual players or who might have a laptop with them. Fantasy sports has become a cultural phenomenon. For the Omaha News, I'm Jared Benson.
If your league is blocked on your work computer, you might try a proxy website. Just be wary of unknown providers. They may intercept your private information. Look for one with a privacy policy.
Join us next week as we take a walk down memory lane. We'll have special coverage of UNO's Centennial Celebration.
For all of us here, thanks for watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network. Have a good evening.